То есть ты считаешь, что
Я
Арман
ему
нападает,
подарки
да?
тоже не даю. Арман слишком дистанционно дерется. С ударниками держит дистанцию хорошо, ногами лучше работает. Бои он уже может посмотреть, изучить. Если в начале где-то они как-то дрались бы, может быть, у него был бы шанс. Я, например, 80-20, я вижу победителем Армана.
Khabib Nurmagomedov has shocked everyone by claiming Ilia Topuria as an easy fight for Arman Tsarukyan. Khabib Nurmagomedov believes Arman Tsarukyan is the best lightweight in the UFC right now in Islam's absence and doesn't see Ilia Topuria having a real chance against him. He says Arman is effective at striking from range, manages distance well, and uses his legs and movement to control strikers. Khabib adds that Arman is now experienced enough and has more film to study, so he understands exactly what to expect and how to prepare for Topuria, which in his view makes him the strongest fighter in the division at the moment.
Давай предположим, что все случилось, Царукян с Топурией дерутся. Ты кого видишь в этом поединке? Наверняка этот бой ты себе представлял. Ты кого видишь фаворитом в этом бою?
Я не вижу шансов у Топури.
То есть ты считаешь, что
Я
Арман
ему
нападает,
подарки
да?
тоже не даю. Арман слишком дистанционно дерется. С ударниками держит дистанцию хорошо, ногами лучше работает. И сейчас уже Арман слишком хорошо. У него есть материал, который он может посмотреть и хорошо изучить. Если 3 боя назад, если он с ним дрался, может, он не так опасался. Но сейчас уже видно то, чего можно опасаться от Топурии. Я считаю, что в данный момент лучший боец в легком весе это Топурия. Без Ислама Махачева.
Khabib Nurmagomedov sees Arman as an 80-20 favorite over Ilia Topuria and believes his complete MMA skill set is the deciding factor. He feels Arman's ability to mix striking with wrestling, control opponents on the ground, and use effective elbows gives him a clear edge. In his view, Arman is experienced enough now to understand exactly what to expect from Topuria and will be smart about avoiding the most dangerous exchanges. He also points to Arman's size advantage, noting that he is taller, naturally bigger, and likely heavier on fight night. For Khabib, that combination of physicality, pressure, and wrestling makes Arman the clear pick in this matchup.
За счет ММА стиля.
Но,
Это не вольная борьба.
но будет проходить, да?
Арман может повалить, у него хорошие локти в партере. Очень хорошие локти. Они такие у него, хорошо заходят. Может бороться, разбаривать, спину забирать.
А вот в эту опасную дистанцию с Топурией просто не зайдет.
Не зайдет, слишком уже есть бои, он уже может посмотреть, изучить. Если в начале где-то они как-то дрались бы, может быть, у него был бы шанс. Я, например, 80-20, я вижу победителем Армана. Я считаю, что его борьба, его прессинг, его говорить, это тоже надо учитывать. Он выше него почти на 10 сантиметров, если не ошибаюсь. И он больше него весом, и в день боя он будет больше него. По всем параметрам я вижу, что и, конечно, борьба, она всегда рулила.
Islam Makhachev also believes Arman's performance against Dan Hooker proves he deserves a title shot. He expects Arman to win the fight, but he is still surprised by how dominant and controlled the performance is. In his view, Arman makes a clear statement and shows that he has earned the right to compete for the belt.
Вчера Арман Tsarukyan одержал уверенную победу. Впечатлил ли тебя Арман?
Я так и предполагал, что он выиграет, но не так доминирующе думал, выиграет. Я думаю, Арман уже заявил, доказал, что он заслуживает титульный шанс и, наверное, будет драться за пояс в следующем.
UFC Hall of Famer Daniel Cormier reveals that the UFC wants a fight between Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett, but insists no matchup is more deserving than Ilia Topuria versus Arman Tsarukyan. He explains that a win over Justin would put Paddy in line for a title shot, yet he still believes Paddy needs more growth in the octagon despite his impressive recent performances. Cormier describes Paddy as a different kind of fighter, but notes that Arman Tsarukyan is just as formidable. Daniel Cormier said, "I know for a fact they wanted to do Paddy versus Justin. A win over Justin, after what he's done already, would have put Paddy fighting for the belt right now. I still believe Paddy needs to continue growing in the octagon a bit because he's righted the ship and fought so well, like we've never seen before. He's a different beast. He's a savage, but so is Arman Tsarukyan." Daniel Cormier believes the matchup between Arman Tsarukyan and Ilia Topuria is a perfect fight. He notes that their interactions show clear animosity, mentioning their recent altercation. Cormier feels it would be easy to promote this fight because because it already has a competitive edge. He acknowledges that while Arman has a chance to win, Ilia is capable of beating any of the top champions. According to Cormier, the matchup promises a challenge for both fighters, making it an exciting and compelling contest. Daniel Cormier added, "I believe Arman versus Ilia is the fight 100%. From their interactions, you can tell these guys don't like each other. Ilia said he slapped him the other day, Arman said he touched his face, and now he said he slapped him. It's easy to build a fight between these two because it already feels competitive. There's a chance Arman can win, but you also know there's not a person in the world that Ilia Topuria can't beat among these great champions. There's nothing better than going into a fight knowing both fighters are going to be challenged and have their hands full." Daniel Cormier also considers Arman Tsarukyan the true top contender for Ilia Topuria. He views Paddy Pimblett as entertaining with a bright future, but believes the real elite lightweights right now are Arman and Ilia, especially with Islam competing at a higher weight. Cormier also finds it odd that Paddy confronted Ilia in the octagon after winning the belt, since beating Michael Chandler doesn't fully justify a title shot.
I think Paddy Pimblett's fun. I think Paddy Pimblett has a bright future in fighting, but I believe that the two best lightweights in the world, if Islam Makhachev is now the welterweight champion, it's Arman Tsarukyan and Ilia Topuria, bro, and that's not even in question anymore. I thought that Paddy Pimblett getting in the octagon after Ilia won the belt was, to me, it was a little bit odd because I didn't feel like him beating Michael Chandler should have warranted him being in that spot. I thought that the biggest issue would be trying to do away with the images of Paddy in the cage with Ilia after he became the champion.
On the other hand, Nazim Sadikov pushes back hard on the idea of Ilia Topuria switching divisions so quickly, saying one title win with 0 defenses isn't enough to justify a move up. He questions the logic of immediately jumping to 170, then possibly 185, and stresses that a true champion should first establish dominance with multiple defenses. In his view, Ilia rushing to another weight class right now would turn the whole situation into more of a spectacle than a serious earned move.
But if you ask me, like, just logistically, I don't know, like, just defend. I feel like just solidify yourself at 155. Like, what is this one fight, no title defense, nothing, and then just go on to do other things. Like with that, it's like, okay, let's say he goes up to 170. Let's say he beats Islam. So what, we're doing 185 next? It's let's get some defenses in there too. Let's be a dominant champ before we do something like go up. And like Islam, that guy is on a 15 fight win streak. That guy is finishing everybody, making black belts look easy. That makes sense to go up to 170. So like Ilia moving up to 170 now would be just like a freak show. You know, it's not really one of those
legacy,
Yeah, but nonetheless, like, I'd be tuning in. That'd be a banger anyways, no matter how it goes.
I want to see the fight. I just, like, I wonder the logistics of it, of, like, I don't think Islam's going to come back down, and I don't think they're going to let Ilia move up, so I don't know how that would work unless Islam changes his mind, but I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be...
Yeah, there's other fights I would like see over that. Like, if that happens, I'll definitely be tuning in, but if it doesn't,
Same here.
I won't be mad either. I think there's other fights for both of them to handle.
However, Renato Moicano rates Ilia Topuria above Islam Makhachev and believes he is currently the best fighter in the lightweight division. He acknowledges that Makhachev is tough to beat due to his grinding style, but sees Ilia as a more complete martial artist. While Islam may excel in wrestling and grappling, Moicano views Ilia as a dangerous finisher both standing and on the ground, with the potential to become one of the greatest of all time.
To fight for the belt, to fight Ilia, do you think he should be next?
Hey, Ariel, you know me, I don't like Arman Tsarukyan that much, I don't have nothing against him, but to be honest, right now, he is the guy to fight for the belt. I think with the performance that he had, and if you watch his record on UFC, like, he only lost to Ganra, and that was a very hard fight. There was a split decision, if I remember. Maybe I'm mistaken, but there was a close fight, and then he lost to Makhachev on his debut, like with very short notice. So the guy against Joel Alvarez, he did a very good job. and now he beat Charles, was a split decision too. But after that one, I think he's the number one contender. I think he should be fighting for the title next. I think there is no doubt.
Renato Moicano is unsure if Ilia Topuria could succeed after moving up in weight, noting that he isn't a large lightweight and that jumping to 170 would be especially challenging. Still, he doesn't entirely doubt him, especially given Ilia's knockouts of Volkanovski, Max Holloway, and Charles Oliveira. Moicano believes Ilia would be the underdog at higher weights, but if he manages to win, it would cement him as one of the greatest of all time in his eyes.
If you're trying to see who is the best contender, I think right now, with no doubt, is Arman. You know, I think UFC is not gonna have any option to put Paddy Pimblett. Paddy Pimblett is number 5 right now, but let's be honest, he just beat Tony Ferguson, Michael Chandler, and I don't even remember who, you know, somebody like Bobby Green, and he's number 5. Doesn't make any sense to put Paddy Pimblett to fight for the belt right now. And even Justin Gaethje, you know, he won his last fight, but he lost to Max Holloway before. I think, no doubt, Arman should be fighting for the title next.
Nazim Sadikov shuts down the idea of Paddy getting a title shot right now. He admits Paddy is a big name and understands that the sport is driven by hype and attention, but he points out that most of Paddy's recent opponents either aren't even in the UFC or weren't coming off wins. In his view, the excitement around Paddy just doesn't match the level of competition, which is why he doesn't see a title opportunity as earned at this stage.
Fans want to see Arman and Ilia next, but it seems like Ilia kind of wants to fight Paddy Pimblett.
Oh, I don't know, man. I wouldn't want to see that, to be honest with you. I mean, like, Paddy's a name, sure, no doubt. I know that this is the show business and it's about names. It is that plays a big factor, but you know, it's like I saw like some stat of his last 5 opponents or something, like 3 or 4 of his last 5 guys are not even in the UFC. I don't think anybody's coming off of a win that he beat. Nobody that he beat was coming off of a win.
Nazim Sadikov says his path is the complete opposite of Paddy's. He points out that he is facing opponents on winning streaks, while Paddy recently fought someone riding a long losing run. Because of that, he doesn't believe Paddy currently deserves a title opportunity. He does admit that Paddy's name value will always keep him in the conversation for big fights, but in his view, only a statement win over a top 5 opponent should really justify a shot at the title right now.
Actually, I'm doing the opposite of my road is the opposite of Paddy's. I'm fighting a guy on a 5-fight win streak. He was fighting a guy on a 5-fight losing streak. So like, we're literally on polar opposite ends. So I personally don't believe he deserves a shot, but he is a big name, so he's going to be in the mix. He's going to be in the conversation for big fights. I just don't think he deserves a shot at the moment. I think a win against somebody in top 5 again, you know, like a statement win, like against the winningest fighter, that would solidify his shot.
Meanwhile, Arman Tsarukyan believes the UFC is giving Paddy Pimblett a push while he has truly earned his position. He explains that every time his spot is questioned, he proves himself again, showing that he's the real deal and not riding on hype. Arman emphasizes that he climbed the ranks from the bottom up, and now that he has returned to number 1, he feels the title shot he deserves should be the next step. Arman Tsarukyan said, "I just proved that I'm the number 1 contender, and I showed everybody again that I'm the real deal. It's not like I'm just ranked number 1 for nothing. I'm not fake like Paddy Pimblett making his own rank. You see how they keep bringing him up because they want to give him a title fight, or I don't know what they want to do with him. I've been beating everybody and I've deserved every spot. I went from top 15 to top 1 and now I'm back at the top. I proved it again. I'm the number 1 contender and now they have no choice but to give me the title fight." Meanwhile, Renato Moicano thinks Arman Tsarukyan is the fighter who should be next for the belt, even though he isn't a big fan of him. He notes that Arman's only real losses came in a close split decision to Gamrot and a short-notice debut against Makhachev. Since then, Arman has put together strong performances, including a narrow win over Charles, and Moicano feels that overall, he has earned the next title shot.
Arman is very, he's very vocal about wanting to be next, to fight for the belt, to fight Ilia. Do you think he should be next?
Hey, Ariel, you know me, you know, I don't like Arman Tsarukyan that much, you know. I don't have nothing against him, you know, but to be honest, right now, he is the guy to fight for the belt. I think with the performance that he had, and if you watch his record on UFC, like, he only lost to Ganra, and that was a very hard fight. There was a split decision, if I remember. Maybe I'm mistaken, but there was a close fight, and then he lost to Makhachev on his debut, like with very short notice. So the guy against Joel Alvarez, he did a very good job, and now he beat Charles. Was a split decision too, but after that one, I think he's the number one contender. I think he should be fighting for the title next.
Renato Moicano struggles to see how Paddy Pimblett is ranked in the top 5, feeling it doesn't reflect what a true contender should look like. He argues that the UFC has no solid reason to push Pimblett toward a title fight, since his recent wins came against fighters like Tony Ferguson, Michael Chandler, and Bobby Green, which don't justify such a high ranking. Despite Paddy's last victory, his loss to Max Holloway remains significant, leading Moicano to believe that Arman Tsarukyan is the clear choice for the next title shot.
I think there is no doubt. Like if you're trying to see who is the best contender, I think right now, with no doubt, is Arman. You know, I think UFC is not gonna have any option to put Paddy Pimblett. Paddy Pimblett is number 5 right now, but let's be honest, he just beat Tony Ferguson, Michael Chandler, and I don't even remember who, you know, somebody like Bobby Green, and he's number 5. Doesn't make any sense to put Paddy Pimblett to fight for the belt right now. And even Justin Gaethje, you know, he won his last fight, but he lost to Max Holloway before. I think no doubt Arman should be fighting for the title next.
Arman Tsarukyan also questioned the lightweight rankings, criticizing how Paddy Pimblett jumped straight into the top 5 after beating lower-ranked opponents. He pointed out that he had to defeat multiple fighters and go on a 5 or 6 fight win streak just to reach the top 15, while Paddy reached the top 5 with only 1 or 2 victories.
Did you see he moved up to 5 now this morning? Did you see that?
Bro, how you can beat like a number 12 or number 13 and became number 5? I was beating everybody in our division. I beat like 5. I was on the 5 or 6 win streak to get in top 15, you know? And like, this guy just beat 6 people and like, he's number 5.
Arman Tsarukyan admits he dislikes Ilia Topuria even more than Islam Makhachev and would prefer to beat him. He explains that Ilia behaves differently in real life compared to his on-camera persona, calling him fake and saying his actions don't match the image he presents publicly.
But do you think eventually you will get the Islam fight? And can I just ask, which one means more to you? Just the opponent, beating Islam or beating Ilia?
Right now, beating Ilia.
Even though the history is with Islam? You have more of a history with Islam, right?
Yes, I do have, but he moved to 170 and he's not going to come down anymore.
Okay. Who would mean more in terms of beating? Like, who don't you like more?
Ilia Topuria.
Why?
Because he's a fake.
Wow. Why do you say that?
I mean, on the real life, he behaving different. On the camera, he's talking and like completely different guy.
That's all we have from today's video, and we hope you enjoyed it. Share your thoughts in the comments section, and don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more amazing MMA videos.